Today we are going to discuss about how to organize the data pane and default settings and combined fields. So in this session, we are going to cover how to organize the data pane, usage of calculation fields and type of calculation, and also how to edit a calculation field. Most of the thing is related to this organizing the data pane. So now let's see how we can organize. So let's get started. So organizing the data pane. So let me just open Tableau. So if we go here, and let me open a new Tableau dashboard and also increase the resolution to 150. Yeah. So this is my data pane. So when you connect to any data source, you will see list of columns or the list of fields, and you can see all the dimensions and measures to your left side. So this is called as data pane. So you can arrange it however you want. So basically it will be arranged with data source table, and it will be sorted based on the names. So it will be alphabetically sorted. Or if you want to sort based on the data source order, so in data source they might be putting it might not be in the alphabetical order, it might be some random order that they might be having in the data source. So if you want to sort it based on that, so they might not be in the alphabetical order. So if you see, it is not alphabetical. And when you click on this and sort by name, so it will be adjusting the data pane according to the names. So it is alphabetical order. And so if you want to do the group by folder or group by data source table, so this is just for the developer purpose. So this is nowhere related to the users perspective. So it is only relative to developer purpose. So how you want to manage this number of columns. So in real time, you will be having hundreds of columns. So real time, you will be having hundreds of columns. Okay, so to read those hundreds of columns, so it is better you can arrange the data source in a proper order. So if you see, there are some certain folders that are there. So it is segregating based on that. So these are the columns that are coming from people table, and these are the columns that are coming from returns table, and rest of the columns are coming from the orders table. Okay, so let's say if I try clicking on group by folder, so it is just you cannot see the table names now. So it is just showing you normal things. And by seeing, so let's say if I type regional manager, so this is actually coming from the people table. So you are not able to see that information because you have selected group by folder. If you select group by data source table, as we have 3 tables. So if you go to this edit data source, so it is actually having 3 different tables: orders, people, and returns. So here you can see the segregation of those columns. So these are the list of columns that are available from orders table, and these are the list of columns that are coming from people table. So that way you can sort it. So if you do a group by data source table, so the segregation is happening based on the tables. And if you say normal group by folder, okay, it will happen. So you can keep folder structures, let's say ship date and ship mode. So I will create a folder for this, ship details, and say okay. So this way you can have the folder structure. So let's say if I want to keep regional manager and return, or regional manager and return in one particular folder, so I can just make a group, regional and return. Okay, so this will be based on the folders that I create. So if I want to see ship related information, I will go to this folder and select ship mode or ship date according to my requirement. So if I don't want to see in the folder structure, so I'll go here and select group by data source table. So folders will be removed and the segregation will happen only based on the tables. So that is one. And we will also discuss how to create a hierarchy, which is very important topic in Tableau. Hierarchy. So basically, by using hierarchy in Tableau, we can do drill down. So I'll just give you a classic example of hierarchy. So if I say country, in country I will have states. In state I will have districts. In district I will have cities. Cities I will have postal codes. So this is a classic example of hierarchy. And if you go into the organization level, there will also be a hierarchy. So let's say CEO. Under CEO, you will have vice president or president. And under president, you will have vice presidents. Under vice presidents, you will have senior managers, associate managers, and employees, or tech lead, team lead. Under team lead, there will be employees. So this is organizational level hierarchy. So now let me show you how to create this hierarchy in Tableau. So yeah, so this is the hierarchy which is already been created. So Tableau will also automatically understand if there are state, city, postal codes. Tableau will automatically pick that. So let me just show you before showing how to create that and how we can use this hierarchy. I'll just show you. So country I have taken and sales I have taken. So this is basically a hierarchy and it is denoted with a symbol. So I'll just show you that symbol. Okay, so this is nothing but hierarchy and hierarchy is denoted with this symbol. Okay, so this symbol denotes hierarchy. Okay, so let's go back to our dashboard. Okay, so now I have country, region, state, city, and postal code. So here you can see expand collapse button. So this you can expand it to the next level. So then what is the next level? It is region. So if I click on this, I will be able to see what are the regions under Canada and under United States. So under Canada, I have 3 regions. Under United States, I have 4 regions. So if I click on expand, I should be able to expand it to the state level. And if I more click on that, I should be able to see cities. And if I click on more, so under that, whatever postal codes are there, I will be able to see that. So if I click on this, everything will be shrinked. So this way you can do a drill down. So this is basically drilling down. So drilling down to the next level. So if you see this particular number, Canada has $29,333 and United States has 22,97,201. So if I click on this expand button, so that $29,000 is getting splitted across these 3 regions. Even this United States has 27 lakhs dollars of sales. So that will be splitted across these 4 regions. So it will happen. So in that way, I can drill down to my next levels. So the same numbers will get splitted across state, city, as well as postal codes. So you don't need to use those many different columns. Even user can select that. So user will have access to this particular space. So in the entire space, user will be able to see. So I'll just take a snapshot. So these are all the developer related information. So this is data pane, this pages shelf, filters, and everything will be developer related. So only this part will be visible to the user. Okay, this is called the visualization space. Okay, so only this part will be visible to the user. So now let's go back to the dashboard. Okay, so here also there is an option. If user want to expand or if user want to collapse, so you can do that here itself. So that option will also be available to the user. So if they want to expand and collapse, that they can do. So now let's see how we can create this. So if you take some normal columns, let's say order ID. So if you take this order ID, so you will not see that particular buttons, the buttons that you see to expand or collapse. So that buttons you won't be able to see for normal columns. So it will be visible only for the columns which you have hierarchy. So I'll just remove this from the hierarchy. So I'll just show you how to create a hierarchy. So go to hierarchy. So I'm just removing from hierarchy to show you how to create a hierarchy. Okay, so I have removed it from hierarchy. So it is, so all the fields are separated now. So now these are not in the hierarchy mode. So what happens if I remove from hierarchy mode? So if you drop country region now, so now you will not be able to see that expand or collapse button. So here also you will not be able to see that expand or collapse button. So now let's see how to create a hierarchy. So let's select country. So go to create, sorry, go to hierarchy. So create hierarchy and name the hierarchy folder as location and say OK. Okay, so currently I have added only one field, which is country. Only one field I have added. So later I want to add this region. So right click on this, go to hierarchy, add to existing hierarchy. So I want to add to existing hierarchy. So there will be two options. Yeah, so region. So click on hierarchy, add to hierarchy. So it is been added to the location, or you can create a new hierarchy as well. So let me just click on city. So after region, I need a state. So right click on this, create hierarchy. Okay, so you can create a new hierarchy or you can add to the existing hierarchy. So I want to add to the existing hierarchy, which is location. So it will be added to that. Now I want to add city. Let's add postal code first. Okay, so not only like that, so right clicking and clicking on this, not only like that, you can just drag and drop in the folder. So I'm just dragging and dropping it over there. And next I want to drop postal code. Okay, so just drag and drop until that line you can see. Okay, so once that line is visible, just drop it over there. Okay, so these 5 fields are got added into this location hierarchy. So now if I drop this hierarchy country in the field, so now I can drill down from country to region, region to state, state to city, city to postal code. And you have to keep this in the same order. As we all know, like states will have cities, in cities will have postal codes. So that order should not change. So what happens if you change the order? So I'll just show you. So instead of city, so if I move city to the top and state to the next. So if I go country, if I put the country here and expand it, it will come region, as the second order is region. So the third order is city. So in regions, we will have states. After that, cities will come. But as we have changed the order, it is coming other way around. Okay. So it is not correct. So just change this order. So every time it has to be in this order. So if you have any location or geolocation that is coming from the database, so if you want to create a hierarchy, so you have to create in this order: country, state, district, cities, and postal code. Even when you get the organization level hierarchy, so it is better you create in this order itself. Okay, so that is how we can create a hierarchy. So any questions in hierarchy before move to other options? Yeah. No, group is something you can do on only one field. No, hierarchy, you should call hierarchy only. So group meaning, you will change the meaning of the group. Group is something different which you apply on only on particular dimension. Let's say state. Okay, so let's say right click on this and create group. So this will be separate meaning, right? So you should not call it as a group. Should call only as a hierarchy. Hierarchy meaning, so in countries you will have regions, regions will have states, states will have cities. So that is a hierarchy. So there is an order. Yeah. Let's say I can tell you one more example as well. Let's say we'll have grandparents. Grandparents will have kids, so they are our parents. So this is a generation level hierarchy. Okay. So we are just telling Tableau that this is a hierarchy, that this has to be in certain format. Okay, so I will show you another example. So there are other categories also. So product category, subcategory. So this also they have made it as hierarchy. So let's see how we can do this. So for in furnitures, they have subcategories. In subcategories, they have manufacturer for each and every subcategory. And for manufacturer, there are products in that each and every subcategory. So they have made product hierarchy. So this way you can drill down. So if you take the sales value, and this is nothing but drill up. Okay, so drill down meaning you will have one column to the next columns. So this is called drill down. If you click on expand button, that will be drill down. If you click on collapse button, that will be drill up. Okay, so basically this 7,54,000 for furniture is being distributed across bookcases, chairs, furnishings, and tables, and so on. So it will be distributed. The values will be distributed across each and every category. So that is about this product hierarchy. So now let's see. Okay, so not only by right clicking on that, so you can just drag and drop and you can create the hierarchies. And now let me show you how to combine data fields. So let's take region. So I'm just taking region and I will also take category. Yeah, so I want to create a combined column where it will combine central furniture, central office supplies, like that. So for that, what I will do is I'll select region and I will also select category. Right click on this and create a combined field. Okay, so it will create a combined field for these two. So I will use this. So it is separating it with a comma. So furniture central, office supply central, technology central, furniture east. So to create a combined field, we can use that. Yeah, so and that combined field can be used as a dimension as well. and to improve the performance of the Tableau. So let's say I have created these many dashboards or these many worksheets that I have prepared. So let's say if my visualization is completed till now. So if you see, there are so many columns. So there are like 20 to 30 columns are there, which I'm not using. So I might be using some 4 or 5 or 7 or 8 columns that I might be using. So I don't want to publish this entire data. So for that, what I will do is I will do hide all unused fields. So if you see, the number of columns that were there got reduced. So if I do a gun, I'll do Control Z. Okay. Actually, so when so these are the number of columns that I can see. These many columns that I can see. But when I click on this hide all unused fields, that means I'm using only these fields. So the rest of the columns have been hidden. So that will improve the performance. So when we are trying to extract also, it will try to extract only the data of these columns itself. It will not extract the hidden fields. And now let's see some of the default settings. So before that, let me create a bar chart. Select sales. Yeah. Mhm. Country is being used in other worksheets. Country, I think in the entire dashboard, whatever are the fields that are being used, those fields will be there and other fields will be hidden. Yeah. Okay, so now let's talk about some default settings. So let's talk about dimensions first. So all these are dimensions. So Zaid, can you tell me what is the difference between a dimension and a measure? Okay, yeah, perfect. So in Tableau will also automatically segregate dimensions and measures. So if you see whatever is in blue color here, so those are dimension, and whatever is in green color, so the labels that you see, those are in the symbols that will be in green color. So even if I hover on it, so you can see blue pills. So it is the borderline that you see, it is coming in blue color. When I hover on measures, so you're able to see green color. So that is because it is a measure. Okay, so default properties will be different for dimensions and default properties will be, yeah. So just to understand that it is a measure, so they are representing with green color. Just to understand that is a dimension, they are representing with a blue color. So however we want, we can use it. Why do you want to change the color? So this is all developer related. So you can developer related only. So users won't be able to see. So as I have mentioned it earlier, where is this paint? Yeah. Only this part will be visible to the users. Okay, these column shelf, row shelf, pages, filters won't be visible to the user. Only this part. So once you publish, right? Let's say if I publish to Tableau server or Tableau public, even if I send some links to you, so you will not be able to see these columns and everything. So let me just show you one dashboard. Yeah, so this is the dashboard that I have created. So when I open this, I should be able to see only that dashboard part. So I can't see rows or column shelf or anything. I can't see. Only the visualization I can see. Okay, so do you see any data pane, or do you see marks card, row shelf, those you can't see, because this is just to view the dashboard. So our main point is to show the visualization. So if you go here, so if you put it in the presentation mode, this is what is been shown to the users. So it is irrelevant for the user to see. So we are making the dashboard for them, so it is irrelevant. So they should not be able to access this thing. And for us to understand, so what is measure and what is dimension, they are giving us this information. Is it clear? Okay, so let's discuss about this default properties. So right click on this. So every dimension will have 4 default properties: comment, color, shape, and sort. Okay, so basically these are the default properties of dimension: comment, color, and shape. So when you want to share your workbook with anyone, so if you want to give some background about the column, so just give comment saying country details of sample superstore. You can give some background like this information to read. Say okay. So when you hover on that, so it will show you that information. Just it is just for information. So as we are developing this dashboard, so we know that it is a country. If you have uh, some relevant, like let's say some other country name is also there, so they might be confused which country to use. So then if you give some information about that particular countries, so it is better to understand. So now let's go to other option. So click on color. Okay, so let's put this country, or let's do for this. So if I put a region in this color marks card, each and every region is colored with some different color. So right click on this. So you can change the default colors. So every time when you drop region into the color marks card, it will give you these colors only. But when I drop, I want to see some different color palette. So central, I want to see this color. East, I want to see this color, and this color. And say okay. Okay, so whenever I drop it, I will be able to see these different colors. So in the entire dashboard, if we go and use this region, and we want to see the region color. Okay, so the color palette is same across the dashboard, across this workbook. If you use region, only these colors will be visible. Why? Because we have changed the default properties. Okay, and now let's see. So we are showing the bar chart. So this is basically the bar chart, and you are coloring each and every bar with a different color. Now I will show you one more different chart, so where I will show you shapes. Okay, so here I'm able to see the value of central with a different shape, with a circle shape. I want to see each and every region with a different shape. So I will put control select this region and put it in the shapes marks card. Okay, so now I'm able to see each and every region in a different shape. So I can change the default properties of that particular shapes as well. So go to right click on region and go to default properties and click on shape. So by default, whenever I select, so these shapes are coming. So instead of these shapes, I want to see central. I want to see this one. Central, I want to see this. South, come down arrow. West, this side, east, this side. So like this, I want to show. Okay, so this way I can change the shapes. So even if I go to other sheets, region and select shape. So as I'm changing the shape, or if I'm changing the default properties, okay, every time whenever I use, so these shapes will be selected. And now I'll select the region again, go to default properties. So by default, it is sorted on the chronological order or alphabetical order if you see it here. So on basis of alphabetical order, it is sorted. So I can change that sort format as well. So instead of data source order, you can say descending order. So alphabetically descending. So Z comes first and vice versa. So you can see the data is coming alphabetical order, reverse alphabetical order. So that way you can do, or you want to manually select. So you want to come on the top. So whenever you drop region, so that will come in the same order. Let's say if you go to work different sheet, so whenever you drop in the entire workbook, whenever you use region, so it will be sorted based on this order itself. And now let's see. Yeah, so these are the default. Yeah. By default, alphabetical order, ascending order. Yes. Okay, so that is what about the region default properties. So if you want to do the clear sort, so it will go back to the normal position. Okay, now let's talk about sales. So for measures, there will be some different properties. So now let's talk about that. So sales I will take, and I will also take region and show the values. So right click on sales, go to default properties. So here also you can comment sales value for Superstore. Say okay. So when you hover on that, it will show you sales value for Superstore. And here we are able to see the sales values. So comment is common for both. So comment is common. Now let's see color. So when I say color, so when you hover on this, can you see that? Yeah. Okay, so right click on this and click on color. So here you can, by default, it is giving you the color is different for dimension and measure. So for dimension, you can see individually each and every line item, it showed a different color. But for measure, it will be different. It will show you a gradient color. So why this is showing like that is, so I will just show you an example. If I take state and if I take sales and select this one, by seeing the intensity of the color, I can identify in which states my sales is more and my sales is less. By seeing, so in this area, my sales is more. And wherever the color is light, I can say that my sales is very less over there. So here by default, it is taking the blue pattern, but I can change that blue pattern to different color. Instead of that, I want to take orange pattern. Say apply. Okay, so I can change that color pattern. So whenever I take this sales, let's say now I'll keep region. Okay, so whenever I consider this particular sales, it will take the brown color pattern itself every time. So that is about color. And now let's see, right click on this and go to default properties, number format. Okay, number format is important for measure. So by default, it is automatic. Automatic, it is just showing you what number it is. But we have so many options in numbers. So let's click on number standard. The number standard is basically how the data is present in the database. The number custom, whether you want to show decimal places or not. So let's keep number standard first. So number standard is however it is there in the database. So it is stored as 5,3170.67280001. So like this, it has stored, and so that is a standard. Click on number format, and you want to customize that format. So 2 decimal places or 0 decimal places if you want. So you can select any number of decimal places that you want. And negative values, whenever you have negative values, by default, you will denote it with -1, -2 like that. That also you can decide. If you want to represent negatives, you can keep it in the brackets, or instead of coming in the prefix, you can make it as suffix. So that changes you can do. And display units. So you can change it to K, millions, billions like that. So let's put K, say OK. Okay, so when you do K, it will divide it by 1000 and it will give you K. And click on this number format. If you do millions, it will divide it by million and give you the number. So that way you can change the number formatting. So let's see other options as well. Click on currency standard. Say currency standard. So it is just taking the rupees. We can change it to other standards as well. Just click on this. Okay, so here it is selected as English India. So it is taking that. So if you select as United States, English, say OK. So it will take dollar symbol. And say default properties, click on number format. In currency also, you can specify decimal places and you can change the display units. So you can still see the dollars and all. And say default properties, number format. That way you can see. And scientific, so e to the power of something that you can measure. And say default properties. And if you want to convert this to, so it will divide it by, it will multiply with 100 and put the percentage. And let's go to default properties. And we also have one more custom. Okay, so here you can specify how you want to mention. Let's say you can manually write dollar. How many decimals you want, you can keep decimal places. If you don't want percentage, just remove percentage. So it will show you that. So edit sales, default properties, number format. Say okay. Yeah, so that is how you can change the number formats. And now let's see So whenever I change that number format, if I use that particular formatting, so if I go here and let's say select 3 decimal places. Okay, here I have selected 3 decimal places, but whenever I take these sales into consideration, every time I will get it as 3 decimal places only. In the entire workbook, I will be able to see 3 decimal places. Okay, so that is the importance of this default settings. So now let's, okay. So by default, every time whenever I drag that particular sales, the aggregation, it is coming as average. Okay, most of the times what we use is sum as an aggregation. We mostly use sum as an aggregation. So even if I drop it in the other worksheet, so I will be able to see sum as an aggregation. But I don't want to see every time, I don't want to see sum. So I will do, what I will do is I will do average. So whenever I drop, so now it will show me average. So in that way, I can change the aggregation. And total also, it will automatically calculate by sum. So you can change that total as well. So you can tell Tableau that you can calculate total by average. So now let's change this to sum only. So go to default properties, go to this, and change it to sum. And now you keep it in the sales here and put region and make it as table. So now I will show you how to show total. Go to analysis, go to totals and show column grand totals. So here you are able to see total. And by default settings, if you change, so right click on this, go to default properties, total, it is calculating based on the sum, but I want it to calculate based on the average. Go to default properties and drop this sales again. Okay, if you see, actually the sum is 23,26,534. But what it is doing is it is taking the average. So average also, how it is calculating, 23 lakh 26,534 divided by 4. Why? There are 4 regions. So it is giving you the average of those 4 regions, 5,81,633. So you can also specify how to do the total. So total, if you want to do it by average or sum. So basically we just do normal sum. So it is better to have normal sum only. So, but in case you got a requirement saying you want to calculate, you have to calculate it based on the average. So go here, change the default properties, total all using average, remove this field and put this again. So then you will be able to see the total is being calculated by the average. And later, if you want, you can change it. Okay, so that is about default properties of measure. Any questions till now? Okay, yeah. So I'll just create a donut chart. So take sales. So to create a donut chart, so we just need to create a pie chart first of all. So just click on this and click on pie chart and increase it to entire view. So here you can see a pie chart. So to create a donut chart, we need to do a workaround where you need to create sum of 1 and sum of 1. So basically it will create a marks card for each and every sum of 1 that I have created. So if I click on this sum of 1, you can see there is one marks card which is there for this sum of 1. And if I click on this one, so observe that this particular marks card will be enabled. So click on this. So this is enabled. So this is for this one. This axis is for second sum of one, and this axis is for first sum of one. Okay, so I want to create a do not chat. For that, what I need to have is I need a blank circle which I can keep in the middle of this pie chart. So what I will do, I will create this as a blank circle, and I will do a dual axis. By doing dual axis, I can keep this blank circle on top of this pie chart. So I'll just remove everything. Okay, I got a blank circle, but this is not white in color. So I'll just click on this color and make it as white. Now I will do a dual axis. Okay, now both the pie charts or one blank circle and one pie chart got combined. And I'm not able to see that pie chart. So I just need to adjust the size accordingly, so I can see the pie chart. So the inner circle is very small, so I'll just increase the size. Because in that way, I can create a donut chart. And I will also show you how to create a dual axis chart. So let's take sales and profit. Okay, let's do it from the other sheet. Let's take sales, profit, and I'll also take region, or let's take subcategory and put it side by side. Okay, so for one marks card, I got this, and here I will select the subcategory. I will put it here. Okay, so one is sales and one is profit. So this is for sale and this is for profit. So here you can see bar chart. Here also you can see bar chart. One I will make it as line chart. Okay, and then the other one, if you want, you can select area chart, or you can select any other different chart, or just select by bar chart itself. Okay, so this is how you can make two different charts and just do a dual axis. And put this line chart on top of this. Okay, so line chart is basically sales and profit is nothing but bar chart. So this way you can do dual axis. So the right side axis is for sales to visualize, the left side axis is for profit. Or else if you want for both the measures, if you want line chart, so you can select that. So instead of seeing two different measures or two different headers, so this axis is at a level of 0K, 20K, 40K. Sales is at a level of 0K, 100K and 200K. So you can do a sync. So just click on synchronize axis so that everything will be in sync. 0K, 100K, 100K, 200K, 200K, like that. So now you can use only one header. Just right click on this and uncheck the one header. So you will be able to see one header itself. So this is what is dual axis. And yeah. So now let me show you how to create a blended axis. So to create a blended axis, you need to have two measures: sales, profit, and let's take subcategory only. Okay, so go here and click on this side by side. This will give you a blended axis. Blended axis meaning it will show you the profit and sales side by side. Side by side, you can call it as side by side or blended axis. Okay, so this way you can visualize the data. To see the exact names, you'll get the scroll bar below. So this is how you can create multiple worksheets. So today we have discussed about how to manage this data pane and how to follow the default properties for dimensions and measure. And we also have discussed about do not chart, dual axis and side by side blended axis. So any questions from today's session? Yeah. So dual axis is basically sales, profit. So as you know, when you have two different measures, it will create two different marks cards. Okay, so based on that, you can select whatever. So by default, it will give you bar charts. But if you want to later change it to a line chart, you can directly change it. For profit also, if you want to change it to line, you can change it. So this is for sales and this is for profit. And here the marks card, this marks card is for profit. And when you click on this marks card is for sales. So instead of line, if you want bar chart for sales, you can change it here. And to do dual axis, just right click on this, click on dual axis. Okay, so by clicking on that, it is automatically creating a dual axis where sales on top of profit. So you can see that. So this axis is for sales. Yeah. Yeah. No, you need to select on the second measure, not only on sales. So if I uncheck this, so you won't see on the first measure. The dual axis option available only on the second measure. First measure, you won't see that option. Not only on sales. Let's say if you keep sales on the other part also, you have to do it on the second measure only. Okay. As I want to see profit, this line chart on top of the bars, so I'll just change this order. Okay. So that's how I can create a visualization. And when you see this sales and profit are not in sync. So this is 0K, 0K is fine. 100K and 20K. What I need to do is I need to sync it. Synchronize the axis. When I do synchronize, it will sync. And the values will also be changed accordingly. And it's better. So now both are showing the same value. I can exclude one of them. Sorry, can you repeat? Mhm. Both are same only. So it's you need to remove this name. It is actually for both. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. क्या करना है इसमें? That we have removed. So You need to right click on this and select this show header. Yeah, this is same. You need to sync it before removing it. You need to sync it. Yeah, in profit there are negative values. Mhm. There are no negatives in sales, only positive values in sales. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So with that, we have completed Tableau session 6. We'll wrap the session. Thank you all for joining. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.